Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Coin number 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most quietly fascinating coins in American history, a coin that many people have seen, some have spent, but very few have truly understood. This is the United States of America Lincoln penny from 1961 with the Denver Mint mark, the 1-cent coin that carries far more stories, mysteries, and hidden value than its simple copper face suggests. If you are a coin lover, a collector, or someone who enjoys discovering history hiding in plain sight, then listen very carefully and enjoy every moment of this journey. The 1961 Lincoln penny belongs to a powerful era of American coinage. This was a time when pennies were still made primarily of copper, giving them that warm reddish glow that collectors admire today. Every time you hold this coin, you are touching a piece of real American metal history, struck during a period of economic growth, social change, and strong national identity. The familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front represents unity and strength, while the reverse design reflects the classic wheat and memorial style that defined generations of pocket change. What makes the 1961 penny especially interesting is not just its age, but its character. Millions were minted in Denver, yet not all of them were created equal. Within this large production came subtle differences, tiny mistakes, and rare minting errors that now make certain examples extremely desirable. These are the kinds of coins that collectors search for roll after roll, hoping to discover something special that others have overlooked. One of the most exciting aspects of this coin lies in its minting errors. Some examples show doubled lettering, where parts of the date or the word liberty appear slightly shadowed or thickened. Others may have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or unusual die cracks that formed as the minting equipment wore down. These errors were never meant to leave the mint, yet they slipped into circulation and became accidental treasures. A trained eye can spot these details, and that knowledge alone can turn an ordinary-looking penny into a collector's dream. Condition plays a massive role in the value and appeal of the 1961 Lincoln penny. Coins that circulated heavily often show wear on Lincoln's face, the hair details, and the lettering. However, coins that were saved early or never entered circulation can still display sharp lines, strong luster, and original copper color. These high-grade examples are the ones that truly excite serious collectors and investors. The difference between a worn coin and a brilliant uncirculated one can be dramatic, not just in appearance but in worth. Another fascinating detail is the metal itself. The copper content gives this penny intrinsic value beyond its face value, and many collectors appreciate it as part of the last generations of traditional copper cents. Over time, copper pennies have become symbols of a bygone era, making them increasingly appealing to those who collect both for history and long-term interest. For collectors, the 1961 penny is a perfect coin to study. It teaches patience, attention to detail, and the importance of understanding mint marks, errors, and grading. It reminds us that rarity is not always about low mintage, but about survival, condition, and uniqueness. This is why coin lovers are encouraged to examine every example carefully, because one small detail can change everything. Now let us talk about coin value and worth money, and only here at the end, as promised. In the real market, a circulated 1961 Lincoln penny is generally worth only a few cents. In strong uncirculated condition, its value can rise to several dollars. Coins with confirmed mint errors or exceptional preservation have reached prices of tens of dollars, and in rare auction cases, premium error examples have sold for amounts reaching into the hundreds of dollars, depending on rarity, condition, and collector demand. This humble 1-cent coin proves that history, rarity, and value often hide where we least expect them. Keep searching, keep learning, and most importantly, keep enjoying the world of coins. Welcome to History Coins HD, where every coin has a story worth telling. Coin number 2. We are stepping into the story of a small copper coin that carries a powerful moment in American history, the United States of America Lincoln penny from 1963 with the Denver Mint mark. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary 1-cent coin, something many people might ignore or overlook. But for collectors and true coin lovers, this penny holds history, emotion, mystery, and the potential for surprising value. Listen very carefully, relax, and enjoy this detailed journey into a coin that deserves far more attention than it usually gets. The 1963 D Lincoln penny was struck during a very emotional and unforgettable year in the United States. This was the final year before a major national tragedy, and coins from this time quietly witnessed the end of an era. Made primarily of copper, this penny represents the classic composition that collectors admire today, giving it both historical and material significance. Holding this coin feels like holding a silent witness to American life in the early 1960s. The design itself is timeless. Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front shows strength, calm, and dignity. The details in the hair, coat, and facial features can tell a collector a lot about the coin's condition. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands proudly, and if you look closely on high-grade examples, you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. These fine details are what separate an average coin from one that truly stands out. Although millions of 1963 D pennies were minted in Denver, not all survived the same way. Many were heavily circulated, scratched, or darkened over time. However, some were saved early, placed in rolls, jars, or collections, preserving their original red or red-brown color. These well-preserved examples are especially desirable today, because copper brilliance fades quickly once a coin enters circulation. One of the most exciting reasons collectors search for this penny is the possibility of rare errors. Some examples show doubled letters, where the date or inscriptions appear slightly doubled due to die misalignment. Others may have off-center strikes, weak strikes, or small die cracks that add character and uniqueness. Even minor errors can turn a common penny into a fascinating collectible, and stronger errors can make it truly valuable. Collectors also pay close attention to the mint mark. The D mint mark confirms it was produced in Denver, and placement or shape variations can sometimes signal unusual die varieties. Careful inspection under magnification often reveals details invisible to the naked eye. This is why coin lovers are encouraged to study every penny carefully, because treasures often hide in ordinary places. Condition remains one of the most important factors. A worn coin with flat details may still be interesting historically, but sharp, uncirculated examples with full luster are the ones collectors compete for. Coins that retain their original copper shine and clean surfaces can command much stronger interest in the market. The 1963 D Lincoln penny is a perfect teaching coin. It shows that rarity does not always come from low production numbers, but from preservation, errors, and demand. It reminds collectors that patience and knowledge are just as important as luck. Every coin tells a story, and this one speaks softly but meaningfully to those who listen. Now, let us talk about coin value and worth money, only here at the end. In the real market, a circulated 1963 D Lincoln penny is generally worth only a few cents. In uncirculated condition, examples often sell for several dollars. Coins with strong mint errors or exceptional red copper surfaces have achieved prices of tens of dollars, and rare error pieces at auction have reached values into the hundreds of dollars, depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. This simple 1-cent coin proves that history and value can hide in the smallest details. Stay curious, keep searching, and enjoy the world of coins with History Coins HD, where every coin has a story waiting to be discovered. Coin number 3. We are exploring a Lincoln penny that often goes unnoticed, yet holds a very special place in American coin history. This is the United States of America Lincoln penny from 1966, a 1-cent coin that speaks quietly but powerfully to collectors who truly understand it. If you are a coin lover, a history fan, or someone who enjoys discovering hidden value in everyday objects, listen very carefully and enjoy this story from beginning to end. The 1966 Lincoln penny was born in a unique period of American coinage. During this time, the United States Mint made an unusual decision that changed the look of coins forever. No mint marks were placed on coins this year, meaning every 1966 penny appears without a letter below the date. This alone makes the coin instantly recognizable and historically important. It represents a moment when the mint was fighting coin shortages and trying to simplify production, and that decision created a lasting curiosity among collectors. This penny was struck using a copper-based alloy that still carries the warm tone collectors love. When freshly minted, these coins shine with a bright red color, but only a small number survived in that original state. Most entered circulation quickly, picking up scratches, dullness, and darkening over decades of use. Finding a 1966 penny with strong luster and clean surfaces today is far more difficult than many people realize. The design remains classic and powerful. Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front symbolizes strength and unity, and careful collectors study the sharpness of his hair, cheek, and jawline to judge condition. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands tall, and on well-preserved coins, the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial can still be seen. These fine details are what separate a common circulated coin from a truly collectible one. Rarity in the 1966 penny does not come from low mintage numbers, but from errors and condition. Some coins were struck with doubled dies, causing letters or numbers to appear doubled when viewed under magnification. Others may show off center strikes, broad strikes, clipped edges, or die cracks that formed as mint equipment wore down. These errors were accidental, but today they are highly desirable. Each error tells a story of the minting process and adds individuality to the coin. Collectors also search for strike quality. Some 1966 pennies were weakly struck, while others show bold, sharp details. A strong strike combined with original red copper color can dramatically increase interest among serious collectors. This is why experienced coin lovers examine every example carefully, knowing that one small detail can make a big difference. The 1966 Lincoln penny is especially exciting because it teaches patience. It encourages collectors to slow down, study coins closely, and appreciate subtle differences. It proves that even coins without mint marks or flashy designs can become valuable when rarity, errors, and preservation come together. For many collectors, this penny becomes a favorite hunt coin, one that keeps them searching rolls and collections with hope and excitement. Now let us talk about coin value and worth money, and only here at the end. In the real market, a circulated 1966 Lincoln penny is usually worth only a few cents. In uncirculated condition, examples can be worth several dollars. Coins with strong original red color or confirmed mint errors have sold for tens of dollars, and rare high-quality error examples have reached values into the hundreds of dollars at auction. Depending on condition and collector demand, this humble 1-cent coin reminds us that history, rarity, and value often hide in the smallest places. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep enjoying the world of coins with History Coins HD, where every coin has a story waiting to be discovered. Coin number 4. We are uncovering the story of a Lincoln penny that sits quietly between two major eras of American coinage, the United States of America Lincoln penny from 1981, the 1-cent coin that many people overlook but serious collectors study very closely. This penny may look ordinary at first glance, yet it carries importance, hidden variety, and collector excitement that can surprise anyone who takes the time to understand it. If you love coins, history, and the thrill of discovery, listen very carefully and enjoy this complete journey. The 1981 Lincoln penny was struck at a turning point in United States coin history. Just 1 year later, the composition of the penny would change forever. This makes the 1981 cent one of the last regular issues made primarily of copper, giving it a special place in collections. When you hold this coin, you are holding one of the final chapters of the classic copper penny era, a fact that alone increases its historical importance. The design remains the familiar and trusted image of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a symbol recognized around the world. Collectors carefully examine Lincoln's hair details, the sharpness of the jawline, and the clarity of the date to judge the coin's quality. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands strong, and on higher grade examples, the tiny seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial can still be clearly seen. These small details are critical for collectors and help separate common examples from premium ones. Although the 1981 penny was produced in large numbers, rarity does not always depend on mintage. Instead, rarity often comes from condition and errors. Many of these pennies were heavily circulated, losing their original copper luster and picking up marks over time. Finding a well-preserved example today, especially one with bright original color, is far more difficult than most people expect. Errors make this coin especially exciting. Some 1981 pennies show doubled die features, where parts of the lettering or date appear doubled due to die misalignment. Others may have off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, or unusual die cracks. There are also rare transitional and off-metal errors that attract advanced collectors, making these coins highly desirable when authenticated. These mistakes were never meant to exist, yet they escaped the mint and became collector treasures. Another factor collectors love about this penny is consistency of composition. Since it was still part of the copper era, its weight and feel differ from later zinc-based cents. Many collectors prefer the solid feel and rich tone of copper coins, making 1981 pennies appealing not only historically but physically as well. This emotional connection adds to long-term demand. The 1981 Lincoln penny is a perfect coin for learning. It teaches collectors how to examine surfaces, detect subtle doubling, and recognize the importance of timing in coin history. It proves that even modern-looking coins can become valuable when errors, condition, and collector interest come together. Coin lovers are encouraged to examine every example carefully, because one overlooked detail can completely change a coin story. Now let us talk about coin value and worth money, and only here at the end. In the real market, a circulated 1981 Lincoln penny is usually worth only a few cents. In uncirculated condition, examples often sell for a few dollars. Coins with strong original red copper surfaces or confirmed mint errors have sold for tens of dollars, and rare error pieces in top condition have reached values into the hundreds of dollars at auction, depending on rarity, condition, and collector demand. This simple 1-cent coin reminds us that even recent history can hide meaningful value. Keep watching, keep searching, and keep enjoying the world of coins with History Coins HD, where every coin has a story worth hearing. Coin number 5. We are taking a deep and careful look at a Lincoln penny that many people have held in their hands but very few have truly understood. This is the United States of America Lincoln penny from 1967, the 1-cent coin that belongs to a very unusual and fascinating period in U.S. coin history. If you are a true coin lover, collector, or someone who enjoys discovering hidden stories and value, listen very carefully and enjoy this long journey, because this penny has more to say than most people realize. The 1967 Lincoln penny was minted during a time when the United States Mint was dealing with major coin shortages. To solve this problem, the Mint made a historic decision to remove mint marks from coins for several years. That means the 1967 penny has no mint mark at all, even though it was produced at different facilities. This single detail already makes the coin special, because it represents a rare policy decision that was never meant to last forever. This penny was struck using a copper alloy that gives it the classic color and weight collectors love. Freshly minted examples once glowed with bright red copper surfaces, but time and circulation quickly changed most of them. Many were spent, scratched, and darkened through everyday use. Today, finding a 1967 penny with strong luster, smooth surfaces, and original color is much harder than most people expect, and that difficulty adds to its appeal. The design is familiar but powerful. Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front reflects calm strength and dignity. Collectors closely study the sharpness of his hair, the detail around the ear, and the clarity of the date to judge condition. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands tall, and on higher grade coins, the tiny seated figure of Lincoln inside the memorial can still be seen clearly. These details matter deeply to collectors and often determine whether a coin is ordinary or desirable. What truly excites collectors about the 1967 penny is the possibility of errors and varieties. Some examples show doubled die features, where parts of the lettering or numbers appear doubled because of misaligned dies. Others may display off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, or die cracks that formed as the minting tools wore down. These errors were never planned, yet they escaped into circulation and became accidental collectibles. Even a small error can transform a simple penny into something special. Another important factor is strike quality. Some 1967 pennies were weakly struck, while others show bold, sharp detail. Coins with strong strikes and original copper color are especially desirable. Collectors often use magnification to search for subtle differences that the naked eye might miss, knowing that patience and careful study can lead to exciting discoveries. This penny is also a favorite among collectors because it teaches important lessons. It shows that rarity is not always about low mintage, but about condition, survival, and uniqueness. It encourages coin lovers to slow down, examine details, and appreciate the history behind even the smallest denominations. For many collectors, the 1967 Lincoln penny becomes a reminder that treasure can hide in plain sight. Now let us talk about coin value and worth money, and only here at the end. In the real market, a circulated 1967 Lincoln penny is usually worth only a few cents. In uncirculated condition, examples can be worth several dollars. Coins with strong original red color or confirmed mint errors have sold for tens of dollars, and rare high-quality error examples have reached values into the hundreds of dollars at auction, depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. This humble 1-cent coin proves that history, rarity, and value often live quietly inside everyday objects. Keep watching, keep searching, and keep enjoying the world of coins with History Coins HD, where every coin has a story worth listening to. Coin number 6. We are opening the story of a Lincoln penny that belongs to a generation many people remember spending, but very few remember studying. This is the United States of America Lincoln penny from 1974, the 1-cent coin that quietly connects classic copper history with modern collecting excitement. If you are a true coin lover, a collector, or someone who enjoys discovering hidden value in everyday coins, listen very carefully and enjoy this detailed journey from start to finish. The 1974 Lincoln penny was struck during a time of economic change in the United States. Inflation was rising, metal prices were increasing, and the future of the penny itself was already being questioned. Yet this coin was still made in the traditional copper-based alloy, giving it the familiar weight, sound, and color that collectors love. Holding this penny today feels different from modern cents, and that physical difference adds emotional and historical value. The design remains the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front. Collectors closely examine Lincoln's hair, cheek, and jawline to judge how well the coin was struck and preserved. Small details matter. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands strong, and on higher grade examples, the tiny seated figure of Lincoln inside the memorial can still be clearly seen. These fine details often disappear quickly once a coin enters circulation, which is why sharp examples are so desirable. Although the 1974 penny was minted in very large numbers, rarity comes from condition and errors, not just mintage. Most of these coins were heavily circulated, scratched, and dulled over decades of use. Finding one today with original red copper color, smooth surfaces, and strong luster is far more challenging than many people expect. This is where collector interest truly begins. Errors make the 1974 Lincoln penny especially exciting. Some coins show doubled die features, where parts of the lettering, date, or Lincoln's profile appear doubled due to die misalignment. Others may display off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, or visible die cracks caused by worn minting equipment. There are also rare cases of wrong planchet errors that attract advanced collectors. These mistakes were never intended, yet they escaped into circulation and became valuable pieces of mint history. Collectors also pay close attention to strike quality. Some 1974 pennies were weakly struck, while others show bold, crisp detail. A strong strike combined with original copper color can significantly increase desirability. Many experienced collectors use magnification and careful lighting to study every surface, knowing that one overlooked detail can completely change a coin's importance. This penny is a favorite learning coin for collectors because it teaches patience and observation. It proves that even coins from the modern era can become valuable when errors, condition, and demand come together. It reminds coin lovers that not all treasures are old, and not all valuable coins look special at first glance. Sometimes, value hides in the smallest differences. For many collectors, the 1974 Lincoln penny represents the joy of the hunt. It encourages people to search through rolls, jars, and collections with curiosity and hope. Each coin examined is another chance to discover something rare, something unique, something worth saving. Now let us talk about coin value and worth money, and only here at the end. In the real market, a circulated 1974 Lincoln penny is generally worth only a few cents. In uncirculated condition, examples often sell for several dollars. Coins with strong original red copper surfaces or confirmed mint errors have sold for tens of dollars, and rare high-quality error examples have reached values into the hundreds of dollars at auction, depending on rarity, condition, and collector demand. This simple 1-cent coin reminds us that history, value, and excitement often hide in the most familiar places. Keep watching, keep learning, and keep enjoying the world of coins with History Coins HD, where every coin has a story waiting to be heard. Coin number 7. We are uncovering the story of a Lincoln penny that many people have spent without a second thought, yet collectors know it carries far more importance than its small size suggests. This is the United States of America Lincoln penny from 1971, the 1-cent coin that belongs to a powerful moment in modern American coin history. If you are a coin lover, a collector, or someone who enjoys discovering hidden value, listen very carefully and enjoy this long and detailed journey. The 1971 Lincoln penny was struck during a period when the United States was changing rapidly. The nation was moving through economic pressure, rising metal costs, and shifting priorities, yet the penny was still being produced in the traditional copper alloy that collectors admire today. This gives the coin a rich tone, solid feel, and classic sound that modern cents no longer have. Holding this penny is like holding a small piece of everyday American life from the early 1970s. The design remains the familiar and trusted portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front. Collectors carefully examine the sharpness of Lincoln's hair, the detail around the ear, and the clarity of the date. These features quickly wear down in circulation, making sharp examples increasingly desirable. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands strong, and on high-grade coins, the tiny seated figure of Lincoln inside the memorial can still be clearly seen. These fine details are essential when determining collector quality. Although the 1971 penny was minted in large numbers, true rarity comes from condition and errors. Most examples were heavily circulated, resulting in dull surfaces, scratches, and loss of original luster. Finding one today with smooth fields, strong strike, and original red copper color is surprisingly difficult. This scarcity of high-quality survivors is what keeps collector interest alive. Errors make this coin especially exciting for collectors. Some 1971 pennies display doubled die characteristics, where parts of the lettering or date appear doubled because of die misalignment. Others may show off center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, or visible die cracks formed by worn minting equipment. There are also rare wrong planchet errors that attract advanced collectors and can significantly increase a coin's desirability. Each error tells a story of the minting process and adds individuality to the coin. Collectors also focus on strike quality. Some coins were weakly struck, while others show bold, crisp detail. A strong strike combined with original copper luster can make a huge difference in appeal. Many experienced collectors examine these pennies under magnification, knowing that patience and careful observation can reveal details invisible at first glance. The 1971 Lincoln penny is a perfect teaching coin. It shows that value does not always come from age or low mintage, but from preservation, rarity of condition, and unique characteristics. It encourages coin lovers to slow down, study every detail, and appreciate the craftsmanship behind even the smallest denominations. For many collectors, this penny represents the joy of searching. It invites people to explore old jars, rolls, and collections with curiosity and excitement. Every coin examined is another opportunity to discover something special hiding in plain sight. Now let us talk about coin value and worth money, and only here at the end. In the real market, a circulated 1971 Lincoln penny is usually worth only a few cents. In uncirculated condition, examples can be worth several dollars. Coins with strong original red copper color or confirmed mint errors have sold for tens of dollars, and rare high-quality error examples have reached values into the hundreds of dollars at auction, depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. This simple 1-cent coin proves that history and value can hide in the smallest places. Keep watching, keep learning, and keep enjoying the world of coins with History Coins HD, where every coin has a story waiting to be discovered.